Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Wrestling Diaries, and this is the spoken word sessions. We hadn't done one in a little bit because we've been doing other things, but we're doing one now. This is going to be a special holiday edition that'll come out around the time of Christmas or slightly before, slightly after. Not really sure on the timelines. But yeah, I do. Today I'm going to read a poem that my sister sent me some time ago that she wrote about people struggling during the holidays. Specifically, I think this is a friend of hers. I don't know the specific friend, but it's something to do with that. And I'm also going to tell a story of my other sister and my mother, and a really heartwarming story about Christmas and more of the power of giving and what that really means. You know, there's a lot of different people that celebrate different things. I think probably the majority of us, especially around the local area, do Christmas. And I think it's really important to understand the power of giving and giving back and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm going to share these. I'm going to share the poem, and then I'm going to share the story with you at the end, and wish you all a happy holiday and a happy new year. So my sister sent me this poem, and it's called More Than Meets the Eye. And she kind of wrote like a prologue to the poem, so I'm going to read that right now. I know that the holidays can be tough for people, and I have a few friends facing some tough times right now. I wrote this as a reminder to them that they have come a long way in their lives, and that even if other people doubt them and only see what they want to see, there is more than meets the eye when it comes to them. I consider my friends to be my family, for they are the ones who have stood by me during everything I've been through. When I look at them, it's not scars, flaws, or imperfections I see. It's beauty that I see. If others got to know them for who they are and saw them the way I do, then I'm sure they would share the same view. My friends all hold a special place in my heart, and their friendship is the best gift I could ever receive. I cherish the gift of friendship always, and am so thankful to have so many wonderful, amazing, awesome, beautiful friends in my life. More Than Meets the Eye by Nancy Morris. Behind your smile, you hide the pain so well. Locked up are secrets that you would never tell. Your heart has been broken into so many pieces. Hiding it, you wonder if the hurting ever ceases. Some wounds can't be healed with Neosporin and a Band-Aid. Still running deep are scars that the events from the past made. They're visible to you even when you try to conceal. People will judge you on your past if anything you reveal. It's all but keeping up a good appearance. If you let your guard down, others throw in their 2 cents. There are times it's easier to remain silent than the truth by people can't be bent. That they'll regard you as nothing more than fragile is what you fear, because they tend to hear only what they want to hear. But ignorance gives them a distorted view. They'd see someone amazing if they saw you the way that I do. Anyone who doesn't get to know the real you loses out. You're beautiful inside and out, and this I know without a doubt. Others may focus on flaws, but in you I find a priceless treasure. Never once have you given up after all you've had to endure. Not very many people would have had the will to go on, yet here you are standing strong when all you once knew is now gone. The negatives you made into something positive, sending out a message that a better life others can live. When things fell apart, your life you chose to rebuild. A true warrior, you continued fighting on life's battlefield. You never allowed anything to hold you back. Going for your dreams, you proved strength you don't lack. Or I understand what you've been through. Just know that I won't ever think any less of you. Even when you face hard times, you always find a way, the silver lining to every cloud you look for in each new day. Refusing to follow the crowd, you never take the bait. Instead, achieving your goals, you don't sit around and wait. You're never afraid to stand up for what you believe in. Reaching out to others, you help them to win. Saving lives is what you do best. The truth you shed light on, even if put to the test. Every obstacle that challenges you, you rise above. always showing how tough you are when push comes to shove. The definition of a fighter and survivor you fit. Never did you let the fire burn. Out once in your heart, it was lit. Looking at you, those scars completely fade. In my eyes, you're someone beautifully made. I'm proud of you for making it this far. To me, you stand out with all your qualities, and my vision of you hasn't begun to mar. If people try to tell you that you're worthless, it's a huge lie, because trust me, there's more to you than meets the eye. And that was a poem that my sister wrote to a friend who's struggling on hard times during the holidays. So specifically, if that person, I guess if my sister lets them know that she wrote a poem about it, they can see this. And hopefully you enjoyed that. She put a lot of work into it, obviously. So it's a really good piece. I'm going to share real quick to another story, a personal story from my other sister that involves Christmas before I close this up. So when I was younger, I was probably, I don't know, I was definitely a teenager. I was like in probably a freshman in high school, something like that. Maybe sophomore. I'm not completely certain on the timeline, but my mom, as some people know and some people may not, is from another country. And around this time of the season, she was trying to save up money because she was going to fly back to her home country. And my other older sister was putting together she was putting together money to help her to go back home on. She had already bought her a round flight ticket to go to and fro. But, you know, she obviously didn't want to go over there empty-handed. She wants to go over there with gifts and have money to do things and stuff like that. And my sister had already given her some money on it. Or I think maybe we had all contributed to my mother's plane ticket. But my sister had planned to surprise her on Christmas Day with like an extra big, large sum of money that she had saved up for quite some time. And I'll never forget it. Like we're all giving gifts, and she waited till last, and she hands my mom this envelope. And my mom just, it's so funny because without her actually opening the envelope to see what it was, she just knew, right? She knew that it was like money and lots of it for her to take her trip back to her home country. And so my other sister, Linda is her name, she gave her this money, and my mom just let out this wailing, like, not cry necessarily, like a moan that I'll never forget. Like I still can hear it in my head right now. And she was like, "Oh," she's like, "Linda, this is too much. You can't do this. Like, you gotta have money for your kids," because my sister has a lot of kids and stuff, and it's the holiday season, obviously. And she was like, "No," she's like, "This is for you." And they just, it's a really simple story, but they embraced and they hugged each other, and you know they were both crying, and it was a really wonderful human moment that will stick with me to the day I die. And I remember being a teenager, and I was standing there watching this happen, and I was a teenage boy, so I'm trying to suck it up, trying not to cry. I was like biting my teeth, gritting my teeth, and all that, and I held up pretty well, but it was such a touching thing for me that like afterwards, like they all were talking and settling in, and I went to my bedroom, very subtly, and I went in there and I cried by myself because I didn't want anybody to see me. But it was a very beautiful moment, and it was very sacrificial. My sister used a lot of money to do that, and I feel like Christmas isn't always just about presents and stuff, right? It's about like giving, and statistically speaking, psychologically speaking, it actually, you get more chemical response when you're actually giving to people than receiving. Like it's so much more rewarding. The pleasure that you get from getting something is really great, but it's like a quick hit of something, and then it kind of dissipates. And you're like, "Oh yeah, this shirt's cool, these shoes are cool, this video game's cool, whatever, I'm done." But like to give that to somebody, I mean, that sticks with you for a really long time. It's just something about it. And yeah, both of my sisters have always been very, very giving individuals, So hopefully you enjoyed that poem by my sister Nancy, and then that story about the generosity of my other sister Linda. It's really important to be generous, I think, especially in this season. We've dealt with a really tough year this year. 2020 has been, it's an understatement to say it's been crazy and rough and weird, but now we're getting to the end of the season, the year, and feel like there's a lot of good that can come out of it. Hopefully, somebody enjoyed this story, or got something out of it. It was very personal to me, and if my sisters end up listening or watching this, then I love you guys. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and keep being you gals, because it's very, very cool and very generous. And peace. I, as always, want to say check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcast, to check out the audio platform of the podcast, and go to YouTube, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Show us some love. Have a good holiday season, everybody. What do you wrestle with, and how can you beat it? One love.